is going on, everyone? Greatest Hits here, back with another video. I know you can't see me right now. This is a really tight little storage room here. It's actually a 10 by 25, but anyhow, I'm going to do my best to record installing this turbo kit. This is the hot side. I'm waiting on the cold side to come in later on this month. The turbo should be coming in a few days, and then the wastegates will come in. Wastegates and blowoff valves will be coming at the end of the month. So this is a On3 performance turbo kit that I've gotten. The whole thing, the hot side and the cold side. I'm just waiting on the other stuff to come in. But I'm going to install this hot side for you guys to see what it looks like, and then this video will progress into the whole kit and everything that comes with it, and some of the parts that I've gotten from different automotive, places and stuff. So yeah, this quality is really good. This is the truck manifolds here. It's brand new. I don't know if they make it in-house or they buy it from GM, but we got some gaskets here, back here with the, let me take this out here so you guys can see this awesomeness. I believe this is a 4-inch exhaust, and the turbo will sit here, and then the exhaust will come out this side. And then I have the tip right here. But this quality, man, is nice. Really, really nice. I never had nothing like this before. And of course, this side will flip like that and go on like that. And then I have clamps for it and all of that. This is kind of the Y pipe over here where the turbo will sit along with that. And you'll just see how everything comes together. These are the exhaust clamps here, and I dropped the manual vacuum, not manual vacuum. This is a manual boost vacuum reference that I'm going to use because I'm not spending $600 for an electric boost controller. That's just outrageous. So we're going manual, and we'll figure out how to install this and how it works and all that. But as you can see, On3 performance, and this knob here, or screw or whatever, and yeah. So what else? This is the downpipe for the wastegate. So the wastegate will sit on top, and then this will sit towards the bottom. And when you have excessive amount of heat and pressure or whatever, flames will start shooting out of this and out of that as well, which would be really, really cool. So let's get to it. It's really hot. I'm sweaty, and yeah. I got the turbo in front of me, sitting in the truck. It's Maxspeedingrods. That's where I got the turbo from. I did not buy that $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 turbo that everybody else gets. Precision, Garrett turbo, or any of that of those companies. I honestly didn't even get Summit Racing, the Summit Racing turbo, the T6. I ended up getting this turbo because, again, I'm on a budget, but I'm not like on a super tight budget. I'm just on a budget because race car parts are really expensive, okay? They just are. So I tried to do the best that I can to budget any way I could. I heard Maxspeedingrods is a good turbo for a lot of different applications, for LS builds or anything like that. I also got the, what is it called? The sheet metal something intake that I got off of Amazon. That's going to work for this car instead of me using the truck intake that I said I was going to use a few videos ago. So it's already all set up. I got everything bolted in and whatnot. I'm going to show you in a minute what that looks like. But let's go to the turbo, okay? As you can see, it's strapped in. I didn't want it to, you know, fall off the seat and hit the dashboard or anything. So, yeah, this is funny. So let me unbuckle. And let me get this on the ground because it is 50 pounds, so it's really heavy. Not really, really heavy, but it's heavy enough to where if you hold it in your hand long enough, you're gonna get tired. So, yeah. Alright, so it's on the ground right now, but I'm just gonna show you this right here. This is the gasket that'll go on the turbo. It's a T6 gasket because it's like divided two rectangular shapes, and then you got the gaskets for the oil feed and drain line, which is coming as well. I'm just waiting on a lot of parts here at this point. And then a bunch of instructions or whatnot. Insufficient engine power under boot, boosting, large engine, exhaust resistance. Okay, this is not really instructions. I assumed it was because it was paper in the bag. Troubleshooting. Okay, so that's basically what this is right here. I just want to show you guys this stuff before I get to the turbo. You can skip the video if you want to look at the turbo, but yeah. Installation instructions, here you go, right here. This is, I already took it out of the box and got all the paper out, but here it is. And this thing is heavy, guys. Wow. This is a 5-inch, what do you call this? An exducer. The inducer is the blade on the inside on both sides. And I think it's a 5-inch exducer on the other side as well. So, right here, this, compressor side, what is this called, the compressor inlet, I think. That's about 4.21 inches, and yeah, look at that, guys. So cool, very cool. Wheel spins on here too, and I believe since that it's brand new, it's balanced, but I gotta read this to see if it actually is. And I gotta clock this side of the turbo because it's facing the wrong way. But that's just typical when you buy a turbo. Woo! Okay. Yo, that looks sick, guys. That looks really sick. Oh my gosh. That looks insane. That literally looks insane. And I'm not even joking you. I've never seen nothing like this in person on my car, really. Now, of course, when I was at the track, I've seen bigger turbos than this, but to me, this is insane. Like, wow. I can't believe I'm even doing this. But, you know what they say in the car world. Once you put a turbo on a performance vehicle, you'll never go back. And it's worth it. Even though you're spending all that money. Wow. I'm just so stoked, guys. So stoked. Alright, the bolts and nuts are on there. I got some extra washers. But I put the washer on and then the nut on top of this and threaded it in on the bottom. And I put the bolts straight down instead of upward. But man, look at that. Look at that. Alright, I put this rag over here so nothing doesn't get inside the oil port there. I am going to take it off though, because I got to spin this turbo around. That way it faces down, because the cold side is going to come down and up to the cold side of the turbo. The hot side of the turbo is great. So I end up bending some metal. And it should be good now. I'm going to tighten this up, tighten the bolts up here. We should be alright. Whoa. And then the cold side is going to come down and then back up into the intake, which is right here. Look at how clean that is. Anyhow, I'm going to back up a bit. That's what it looks like on the side. Wow. So clean. Comes down there. This is where the battery used to be, but yo, man, look at how cool that looks. 4-inch tip. Everything's tightened up and bolted down. Looks really, really good, guys. This is the intake here that I bought from Amazon. It's a sheet metal intake that could hold 30 pounds of boost. I can't remember the company that I got this off of. The rest of the parts are out of the box already. I put all of that in the truck. I'm just going to leave that in the house until I have the injectors and the regulator and what else? The Wastegate and Blowoff Valve. That way I can take this and take a vacuum hose. That way I can take a vacuum hose and put it in these ports here that I got taped up right now. There's the gasket here on both sides. And unfortunately, this was their fault. as you can see, these are two different colors. They sent me a black 102mm throttle body instead of a silver 102mm throttle body. But I don't care at this point. I'm not finna go through that trying to exchange stuff out and then wait a whole another week for this thing to come in. So I got the sensors on here, the IETs and whatnot. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this on. Okay. Yes, sir. I'll show you here in 1 second. I'm going to plug this cable on. And all I gotta do is that right there. Oh man, that's legit, guys. That is legit. That is legit. I do need to adjust this. That way, when I open the throttle, it'll open it up at a certain rate. So my goodness, these Allens, like, it's so. Let's see. Wow, not that one either. Okay, there we go. So there's an adjuster over here, and it pulls or pushes the actual throttle cable in and out. So that looks to be good. I'm gonna show you guys up close and personal. I'm just adjusting everything, but that looks really good. That, man, I can't wait until I have the fuel rails. I have the fuel rails, but I can't wait to sit them on there with the regulator, the fuel lines, all of that stuff. I know I say things 100,000 times already, and it's, to you guys, it's probably getting annoying, but man, I just can't wait. It's going to be insane when I get this thing done. This is my alternator off of my Firebird Trans Am. I only had this thing, at the time, I only had it 6 months, so it's a year old now. So I threw it on there because I'm trying to save money. But if it takes a crap, I'm going to get a truck alternator, because that holds a lot more amperage or something. 240 amps or something or another. This is 180, I think. But anyhow, there you go, guys. Yeah. Oh, and I gotta get the radiator too. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Anyhow, so this is the adjuster I was talking about. If you twist it downward, it compresses the spring, which pulls this cable out. That way it adjusts the actual pedal on the throttle. Okay guys, so we're going to start off with the intercooler first before we get to the charge pipe, the blow-off valve, and these charge pipes over here. I already put this on and kind of mocked everything up to see where everything goes, and I figured it out. It's not really that hard. I just needed to see which charge pipe went to what side. So with this intercooler, they don't give you a mounting bracket for the intercooler, which, thanks On3, I guess. They told me to cut the crash bar out and then bolt it together and then line the intercooler up, drill some holes in it, and then find some bolts to install onto the bolt hole mounts on the intercooler. The reason why I have it the way that I have it right here is because, one, I was rushing to just get it done because I was getting frustrated because I didn't actually measure correctly, and I end up cutting this off by mistake. So I had to get somebody to I had to get somebody to weld this, and it's some crappy welds, but I don't care. It works. I also found 2 bolts here, but they're too tall, which means the intercooler will start moving a whole lot. So I just put a nut underneath this bolt and then put 2 on top of here because it was leaning like this at first when I mounted it all up with 1 nut on each side. So this is how I have it right here. I don't care how it looks. You're not going to see it anyway with the front bumper in place. And yeah, this is just how I have it, kind of rigged up like this. Next time, On3 needs to make a bracket so that it looks nicer. Moving on, we obviously have all these V-band clamps here, and these nice looking couplers here that says On3 Performance on all of them. I have that closed up for right now because I had it mounted up and stuff for that very reason right there, which I'll get to in a second. Okay, the next thing is this charge pipe that goes up into the intake. I have the bellow here, coupler bellow. I have the coupler here on the 102mm throttle body. I had to force it on there because it's not exactly 4 inches on this throttle body. It's like 4.2 something inches or something like that. So I basically forced it on there and put the clamp on so it's good and tight. So with this VS Racing blow-off valve that I just bought here, it's 50mm, and it was perfect for this charge pipe. I did my research, that way it fits correctly. And they give you a smaller V-band clamp for your wastegate for whatever you want to install on it. And of course, comes with this little fitting thing here with the washers and stuff like that, and a bolt on top. And this is basically for like vacuum if there's too much vacuum in this, and goes through the intake. And I have a hose here that goes underneath that intake manifold, and I basically have everything as far as like hoses wrapped underneath that intake. And then I have to do one more for the fuel regulator for some reason. So anyhow, That's what it looks like right here, this charge pipe. This is the main piece. So I'm going to throw this on here for you guys and then do the rest of this. And hopefully I can get some good footage of this. Oh, and before I forget, the whole reason why it took me a while to get this turbo kit together is because of this. So I bought this 4.21 inch flange from AG something on a website. I had to weld this on to this 3.7 inch charge pipe because the one that was on here was too small and it didn't fit on this compressor side of the turbo. So I had a feeling that was going to happen anyway, which is why I bought this and had to wait a week for this to come in. So now that it's in, now that it's installed, I can finally throw the last piece on this turbo kit. So sit this down here for a second. There's more of the clamps here and the big clamp for the compressor side. So yeah, it is 99% of the way there for the turbo kit. oil feed and drain line came in for the turbo, and it's the right size for my specific turbo kit right here, the On3 Performance Turbo Kit with the Maxspeedingrods Turbo. The only problem is that I had to buy a 10 was it 10 AN by 8 AN flange or whatever. It's really just a 10 AN flange to fit on this, because the hole that's on that turbo over there, I might be able to show you guys if I can get underneath. Right about there. I'll take this tape off. That hole doesn't really look like a 10 AN hole, but it's not like a threaded hole. It's just, you know, smooth around the hole. So I had to buy a flange in order for the oil drain line to thread onto the flange, and then you know, just install it. So I'm waiting on that right now. But basically, this is the Huron Speed drain and feed line. I got this instead of the On3 Performance because, you know, I'm trying every which way to like cut costs and try to budget here, sort of. Even though I already spent like 15 grand on this entire build so far. But anyhow, this line is like really long. I can't remember the size, but I'll show you guys the description on the size, and I'll probably just send a link down in the description below. But this is what it looks like. It looks really nice. I saved $30–40 instead of buying the On3 drain and feed line. That was like $165 base price, and then having to spend $20, maybe $30 worth of shipping. So I saved money there, and it's gonna work. I've already gotten, let me grab this feed line here. I already gotten the fitting. If y'all can see that, it's just okay. I already got the fitting threaded in. It doesn't have an O-ring, so I'm thinking that I have to go and get an O-ring for it and then thread it all the way in, but I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's what it looks like there. And then I basically take this line here. And anyways, I'm thinking about routing this oil feed line underneath the intake here and over behind the cylinder head here where the map sensor's at, and swing it all the way down to ICT block feed flange, whatever you want to call it. It's a flange, and it's a feed flange that will, when the oil's pressurized, it goes through this filter, but there's oil coming out through here and going into the line and then feeding the turbo. I just have that blocked off for now until I got the oil feed line. And now that I have it now, I'm going to take that off and then put the fitting on there onto the flange, thread it all the way in, and then put the line on and fit it onto the turbo. And you're basically doing the same thing on the drain. And it's a 10 AN bung here, and I'm going to thread the drain line there, and that's going to go, y'all can see, underneath all this piping and underneath the turbo there where I showed you guys earlier. So it's gonna be looking good. I'm gonna ride it like straight down and then over this pipe here and then across down there. What you want to do is have that bung welded or threaded, you know, drill and tap it as close to the front of the oil pan as possible. Not way up here because you don't have much, you know, room to weld it or anything at all. But at least have it as close as possible. Like that. Come on. If it'll thread in there. Okay. Thread it in there, and then it's in now. I need to tighten it down with a wrench, which is one of these. Lamps that I set over here. It's always like that. Okay. This line, like I said, I'm gonna sit it like right there or something like that. I don't know how I'm gonna have it. I may have it zip tied over here for now, because I don't want it hitting that steering column there or that exhaust. So we'll figure it out. I got the oil drain flange. It came in. It is Monday, September 23rd. So this hole is a little bit bigger than the hole that's on the turbo, which is I think an 8 AN hole. I'm not sure, but it kind of starts off big and then it comes down a little bit smaller. So it's kind of like, it looks kind of like a bowl, you know. So it should work. I'm gonna use this O-ring, and once the motor cranks up and whatnot, hopefully this doesn't leak. If it does, I'm gonna put the flange gasket that I got from the turbo on this, and then we're just gonna see if that works. So woo! Look at this, guys. This is the finished product right here. The turbo, the exhaust exit coming out the side of the fender. Got the charge pipe all the way around and going up to the intake. Got, let me show you guys. Gotta get some light first. Look at that. Going straight up into the turbo right there. Heck yeah. Blowoff valve dump there, because you need that. And just all of the nice little stuff. Y'all can't see that, but that's where I routed the oil drain line. It's going up in there into the oil pan, like I showed you guys earlier. So far it's looking pretty good. And the other side of that charge pipe going straight up. Nice. And then obviously this is the manual boost controller. I have it sitting there for now until I figure out where I want to mount it, because I honestly don't know. But it's sitting down there. Now I gotta finish up that wiring for the alternator there, and then I gotta put this ICT bracket back on, because I cut these cylinders here evenly. Right there, those cylinders. That way it can slide back some more and the accessory drive can line up perfectly. And speaking of, so what I did was I used the Huron Speed alternator relocation kit, and they told me since I have an iron block, I was going to have to drill a hole in there and tap it and all of that. I didn't want to do all that. I wasn't comfortable doing that. So I bought that ICT bracket and wasn't sure if it was going to line up perfectly. It was close, but it wasn't perfect. Which is why I cut them down evenly to size so that those cylinders can slide back some more on the cylinder head, and so that the belt can line up to the water pump there and that crank pulley down there. So that's pretty much it. Now we move on to the injectors. I got the rails and everything else. I just need the injectors and the pump itself. And then I need the transmission cooler. I need to fill this motor and trans with oil. I got my catch can back there. And then transmission cooler and stuff like that. So getting really dang close, guys. Can't wait until it's done because I'm stressed out, I'm tired, and I'm ready for this to be over with. And I told y'all earlier in the video I routed that oil feed line underneath there, and I put Teflon tape on all of the threads that came with the Huron speed kit. So a little bit of Huron speed, a lot of On3 performance. So this is what it looks like. Heck yeah. This 4-inch tip right here, man, it looks good. And I stuffed it in there for a reason, because I didn't want anything to crawl up in there. But that's it, guys. If y'all like this video, please hit that like button. Actually click the button, because y'all don't like my videos as much as you should. But that's up to you. Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and more content to come, obviously. My Instagram is Greatest Hits 26. My Facebook is David Hits, and my TikTok, I put it down in the description because I can't remember the user, but it'll all be in the description. So yeah, Turbo Kit is finally done after 2-3 months, because, well, really 2, honestly, 2 months. That charge pipe there, I had other things I had to do with my truck and other stuff, so I couldn't do the charge pipe and the V-band and welded it on there until later. Anyways, I'm tired, guys. I'll see you all at the next one. Greatest Hits, out.